Hello everyone, welcome to the compliance training of Hire Smart Home Anti-Money Laundering and Third-Party Payment Management. This training covers 5 parts. First of all, we will introduce what is money laundering and the 3 stages of money laundering. Secondly, we will introduce the laws and regulations issued by major countries and international organizations in anti-money laundering. Then, we will summarize the money laundering cases of major regions. Finally, we will introduce 2 parts, the elements to build up the anti-money laundering compliance scheme, as well as the requirements for higher overseas third-party payment. We hope this training can help you to identify the potential risks of money laundering and third-party payment. There are some different opinions about the origin of the word money laundering. Some people say that money laundering is forgetting to check when washing clothes and watch the money in the clothes. Others say that money laundering originated in the United States. The boss of a San Francisco restaurant found that the money with oil stains often soiled customers' gloves. So the boss put the money into the detergent to clean. Another popular saying is that the Chicago Mafia opened a laundry by buying coin-operated washing machines. Every night, when the laundry income of the day is settled, the illegal money is mixed into the income of the laundry, and after declaring tax, the illegal money becomes legal income. Nowadays, the concept of money laundering refers to the activities that cover up and conceal the source and nature of the illegal income, such as drug crimes, organized mafia crimes, terrorist activities, smuggling crimes, corruption and bribery crimes, and the income generated by above illegal income. In short, money laundering is to bleach the money earned by illegal activities and make it into the market, becoming legal income. According to the estimates of the Financial Action Task Force (FATF), with an amount of over $1.5 trillion involved in money laundering, equivalent to 2% to 5% of the global GDP. The process of money laundering is usually divided into 3 stages: disposal, stratification, and integration. Disposal stage refers to the process of putting illegal income into cleaning system, making it easily to control and reducing the degree of suspiciousness, such as depositing cash in bank or purchasing negotiable instruments. The disposal stage is the most easily detected stage in money laundering. Stratification stage is to separate the illegal income from its source and disperse it to the maximum extent through transnational transactions or multiple financial transactions, which makes it difficult to distinguish the illegal income from the legal property. Integration stage is vividly described as drying. It provides a legal cover for the illegal income. Once covered with a legal code, they can freely use the illegal money in the market. For example, Mr. Zhang gets a lot of money through smuggling crime, and he uses the money to buy antique paintings. A few months later, Mr. Zhang joins the public auction and sells his antique paintings. Then Mr. Zhang uses the money from the auction to buy real estate, luxury goods. Money laundering has extremely serious impact in economy, security, and society. Many countries and international organizations have issued relevant laws and regulations or action guidelines to combat money laundering. China implemented the anti-money laundering law on January 1, 2007. Meanwhile, the supporting laws and regulations also include the anti-money laundering regulations of financial institutions and the management system for reporting large amount transactions and the suspicious transactions of financial institutions. The United Nations released model law on money laundering, confiscation and international cooperation related to the proceeds of crime in 1999, and the FATF's 40 recommendations guided the countries to establish and improve the control of money laundering activities. The Money Laundering and Financial Crime Countermeasures Act 1998 of the United States, the Anti-Money Laundering Regulations 2001 of the United Kingdom, The financial transaction reporting rules of Australia are all the relevant laws and regulations to combat money laundering. Globally, the investigation and enforcement of money laundering in major countries are also active. In the fourth quarter of 2020, the Award 21 International Anti-Money Laundering, Sanctions and Related Comprehensive Enforcement Actions involving 26 financial institutions. The penalties include fines, revocation of business license, warning letters, and other restrictive measures involving about $62.265 million, about 430 million RMB. The authority department that imposed penalties involved 14 countries and regions, including the United States, the United Kingdom, India, Latvia, South Africa, etc. Influenced by the frequent money laundering scandals in Europe, European authorities have strengthened their investigation and enforcement actions, and the number of penalty issued accounts for nearly half of the globe. Specific to the company level, the establishment of anti-money laundering compliance scheme is helpful for companies to monitor the potential money laundering risks and take timely measures to prevent the adverse effects of money laundering. The effective anti-money laundering compliance framework should include Know Your Customer, transaction record keeping, suspicious transaction reporting, and sufficient training. Know Your Customer is the first step and basic work to prevent the risk of money laundering. Generally, the company is required to 1. Screen and verify the customer information through the blacklist screening mechanism or the third-party credit agency when engaging the customer or transaction. 2. Review the potential high risk of customers. Continuously monitor the potential compliance risk in the duration of business relationship. And 3. Timely update the customer identity information. In the process of cooperating with customers, the employee should always keep vigilance to suspicious transactions and payments, consult and conform with the legal department and the finance department in case of unconventional transactions and payments. High-risk payments include cash payment, third-party check or bank transfer without prior approval, payment subject is inconsistent with contract subject, payment method is suspected of evading legal declaration or tax declaration, payment from high-risk areas of money laundering. See Annex 1 of Higher Smart Home Overseas Payment Management Standards. From the perspective of risk prevention, the reasonable payment is corresponding with the payment method and payment subject specified in the contract. Let's see how the high-risk payment happened in practice. Case 1. The financial team received 2 payments in cash from each customer in the Middle East region, totally 170,000 dirhams. When being asked why the customer paid in cash, the customer explained that the company is located in the downtown of Dubai and there is an ATM downstairs, but there is no bank counter. It will take half a day to go back and forth to the bank counter. Also, due to the business environment in the Middle East, it is more common for customers to pay through ATM. The customer did not pay in accordance with the contract, and we cannot check whether the remittance was paid by the customer itself or a third party. The cash payment was rejected. Case 2. A Ukrainian customer plans to pay hire a sum of money through the other company, V, and provides relevant documents. The legal colleagues found that the document of business cooperation relationship between customer and company V was signed on the same day of the third-party payment, and no other documents showed the relationship between the customer and company V. Sufficient business cooperation documents should exist before the occurrence of third-party payment, and the third-party payment should be established under the specific business cooperation background. The document provided by the customer is not sufficient, so the payment was not approved. In 2019, Hire Smart Home released the Overseas Third-Party Payment Management Standards and set up a management scheme to mitigate the risk of involving in money laundering. According to the standards, the occurrence of overseas third-party payment needed to meet below requirements. Firstly, provide the business license or registration certification of the third-party payer to verify the legitimacy of the payer. Secondly, conduct online compliance screening to ensure that the payer is not involved in high compliance risks such as money laundering, economic sanctions. Thirdly, the documents of the relationship between the customer and the payer to show the rationality of the payer's payment for the customer. Finally, the regional business manager of hire signs the sponsor certification for the third-party payment business. The above measures will assist to filter the potential high-risk payments and timely stop such high-risk behaviors. Many countries and international organizations, including China, the United States, the European Union, and the Financial Action Task Force, have anti-money laundering-related requirements. After finished this training, we wish that every employee could be aware of the potential risks of money laundering and third-party payment, know the right ways and do the right things. If you have any questions regarding money laundering and third-party payment, please consult the legal and compliance team or send the email to 690legal@hire.com. Thank you for joining the compliance training of anti-money laundering and third-party payment management.